Listen, there are stories that entertain you. There are stories that make you think, and then there are stories that wake something up inside you. Stories that don't whisper. They strike like lightning. Stories that feel like they were meant for you in this exact moment. And today's story? It's one of those. Because this is the story of an elder, a man whose wisdom was deeper than the roots of the oldest pines, a leader whose silence was louder than any war cry, a guardian whose lesson didn't just guide a tribe, it saved them. And the crazy part? The lesson he taught might be the exact truth you've been missing in your own life. So sit with me, lean in, let the world stay outside for a moment. Because what you're about to hear has the power to shift something inside you, to strengthen you, to prepare you, to open your eyes in a way that might change everything. It began on a cold morning, when the valley still slept under a blanket of mist. The tribe woke to a tension in the air, that kind of strange silence that makes the hair on your neck rise. Animals hid. The river moved slower. Even the wind refused to speak. And then people started to realize something was wrong, deeply wrong. Hunting paths had gone silent. The scouts hadn't returned, and neighboring tribes reported shadows moving through the forest at night. Not animals, not spirits. Men, strangers, invaders, hunters of land, resources, and sometimes people. Fear spread like wildfire. Mothers held their children close. Warriors sharpened their weapons. Leaders gathered in panic. Everyone spoke. Everyone except one man, Elder Makwan, the oldest among them, the one whose eyes carried the memory of generations. A man so respected that even the strongest warriors bowed their heads in his presence. He sat silently by the fire, as if waiting, listening, feeling the pulse of the earth beneath him. Until finally, he opened his eyes and said only one sentence: "We will act when the forest speaks." No one understood. No one had the patience for what sounded like riddles. But they trusted him, because he had never been wrong. Still, fear pushed people toward chaos. Arguments broke out. Leaders demanded action. Warriors wanted to strike first. It felt like the tribe was on the edge of falling apart, until Makwan spoke again. This time not like a whisper, but like thunder. "Sit, listen, the answer is already here." And what he revealed next is the lesson that would save them all. But before we go deeper, I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself something. How many times have you been surrounded by chaos, and the answer was already inside you? How many storms did you face where the voice you needed wasn't outside, but inside? This story will show you that truth with a force you won't forget. To understand the power of the elder's lesson, you need to understand who he was. Makwan wasn't strong in the way warriors were strong. He wasn't tall or loud or intimidating, but he had something more powerful than muscle or weapons. Wisdom that came from listening, not reacting. Observing, not assuming. Understanding, not fearing. When he spoke, people listened. When he walked, people followed. When he prayed, even the wind seemed to answer. But Makwan wasn't respected just because he was old. He was respected because he had lived through storms most people couldn't survive. He had seen war. He had seen hunger. He had seen betrayal. He had seen loss. Loss deeper than anyone should face. Yet none of it broke him. And that's why the tribe trusted him now, in their moment of greatest danger. Let me tell you something. Every tribe, every family, every life has a Makwan moment. A moment when everything feels uncertain, everything feels unstable, everything feels threatened. And the instinct is to panic, fight, run, break. But wisdom doesn't come from panic. Strength doesn't come from noise. And Makwan was about to prove that. Before we go deeper into what he taught, I want you to do something simple. If you're with me so far, if this story already feels like it's about more than a tribe, if it feels like it's speaking to your journey, drop a comment saying, "I'm listening, not for me, but for yourself." Because acknowledging the moment opens your mind for what comes next. And trust me, you'll want your mind open for what Elder Makwan is about to teach. That night, the tribe waited in fear. Fires burned low. Children couldn't sleep. Warriors stood guard in every direction. And Makwan sat alone at the edge of the village, staring into the dark forest. He wasn't afraid. He wasn't tense. He wasn't restless. He was at peace. Because he knew something no one else understood. Something about the forest. Something about the way the earth warns you before danger comes. Something about shadows that move with intention. And when dawn finally came, he called the tribe together and said, "Today you will see why listening is stronger than fighting, and why fear is a liar." That moment, that exact moment, was when the lesson began. And it's the lesson that would save an entire tribe, and maybe save something inside you too. Before the tribe woke, before sunlight touched the mountaintops, before the world took its first breath of morning, the elder rose. He walked slowly toward the sacred circle, his feet touching the earth with purpose, as if greeting an old friend. The air was cold, the ground was still, and the forest stood like a giant preparing to speak. But this wasn't just a morning ritual. This was a spiritual battle, and Makwan knew it. He closed his eyes, placed both hands on the ground, and whispered the words that had been passed down through his lineage. Words spoken not to the sky, but to the very soul of creation. And this is where the prayer begins, not just for the tribe, but for you. "Creator," he said softly, "we stand on land you formed. We breathe the air you placed here. We walk paths carved by your wisdom. And today, fear tries to rise among us." He lifted his face toward the faint glow of dawn. But fear is not our master. Fear does not lead us. Fear does not define us. His voice grew stronger, a firm echo against the forest walls. "Creator, we push back every shadow that comes against our people. Every force that tries to steal peace. Every enemy that approaches with hidden intent. Every whisper of danger disguised as silence." He placed his hand over his heart. "Strengthen the spirit of every man, woman, and child. Let courage rise like the morning sun. Let wisdom speak louder than fear. Let unity cover us like a shield." Then he stood, slowly but with power, and extended his hands toward the forest. "Over this tribe," he declared, "I speak protection. Not a protection made of walls or weapons, but a protection born from the Creator's breath." His tone sharpened, not angry, but commanding. "Every dark intention approaching this land, I dismantle it. Every unseen enemy hiding beneath the trees, I expose it. Every plan formed in secret, I scatter it to the four winds." The fire beside him flickered violently, as if responding. He continued, "No danger will cross this boundary. No harm will touch this tribe. No fear will take root here." And then he said something powerful, something that echoed through the trees. "Creator, break every chain of fear. Break every chain of confusion. Break every chain of weakness, and awaken the warrior inside each of us." But Makwan didn't just pray for protection. He prayed for the hearts of his people, the most vulnerable part of any community. "Creator," he whispered, "there are those among us who carry silent battles, those who are afraid but hide it, those who feel alone even in a crowd, those whose spirits are weary." He pressed a hand to his chest. "Breathe over them, restore them, strengthen them, remind them that they are not forgotten. Remind them that they are made of the same courage that shaped our ancestors." He raised his head. "Lift their eyes so they see hope where they once saw danger. Lift their hearts so they feel peace where they once felt panic. Lift their spirits so they rise with clarity, not chaos." As the first beams of sunlight appeared, Makwan's tone shifted, from soft to fierce. "Creator, every force that rises against this tribe, break it now." His voice cut through the air. "Break the fear that tries to divide us. Break the lies that try to confuse us. Break the shadows that try to intimidate us. Break the strategies of those who walk with violence in their hearts." He stepped forward. "And wherever darkness tries to advance, let your light meet it first." The wind moved through the trees, but not like before. It felt sharper, aware, awakened, almost as if responding to his prayer. Then Makwan spoke words of prophecy, words not born from human logic but from spiritual revelation. "I declare," he said, "that this tribe will not fall. This land will not be taken. These people will not be silenced." His hand rose toward the sky. "Where fear tried to rise, strength will rise higher. Where danger tried to approach, wisdom will expose it. Where darkness tried to gather, light will scatter it." Then he spoke with absolute certainty. Not hope, not guessing, certainty. The Creator will lead us before the danger reaches us. The forest will warn us before enemies get close. And the wisdom given to our ancestors will save us once again. Then he prayed a prayer that wasn't only for the tribe, but for anyone with ears to hear. And this part, this is for you. Creator, he said quietly, if someone hears this story one day, let them feel this same strength. Let them feel this same protection. Let them feel this same awakening in their spirit. He pointed to the earth beneath his feet. Whoever hears these words, remind them they are never walking alone. Remind them they carry ancient strength. Remind them that fear has no authority over their destiny. He stretched his hand toward the sky. And let your protection surround them. In their home, in their mind, in their path, in their battles. His final words were soft but unshakable. Creator, give them clarity, give them courage, and give them victory. The sun rose fully, the first golden light touching the valley. Makwan lowered his hands, and the air felt different, settled, protected, strengthened. The prayer was done, but the power of it lingered. The tribe gathered slowly as the morning sun rose, each person drawn by something they couldn't explain. A pull in their spirit, a tremor in their chest, a sense that this wasn't an ordinary day. Makwan stood in the center of the sacred circle, the ground beneath him glowing with early sunlight. He didn't speak right away. He waited. He listened. He allowed the silence to settle, because silence reveals what fear tries to hide. And when he finally opened his mouth, the prayer that came forth wasn't just for the tribe. It was for every heart that has ever felt fear closing in. It was for every spirit that has ever felt the weight of uncertainty. It was for you. Creator, Makwan began. We stand here today not as scattered souls, not as frightened children, not as people waiting for harm, but as a tribe rooted in your breath. His voice carried with the wind. We declare that our spirits will not bend under fear. We declare that our hearts will not collapse under pressure. We declare that our courage will rise stronger than any threat approaching us. He lifted his hand slowly. Let strength enter every trembling soul. Let boldness fill every weary heart. Let peace descend like morning light. He stepped forward and placed his palm on the ground. Creator, let the land beneath us awaken with power. Let it shake off every dark intention. Let it expose every hidden enemy. Let it rise against every force that comes with evil in its heart. Then Makwan's tone sharpened. Not harsh, but authoritative. Fear, I speak directly to you. He pointed to the forest. You will not rule this tribe. You will not poison our minds. You will not weaken our unity. You will not steal our peace. His voice grew stronger. I break your grip now. I break your lies now. I break your shadow now. The people felt something shift, a weight lifting, a pressure dissolving. Creator, he continued, replace fear with clarity, replace anxiety with discernment, replace weakness with fire. Makwan turned his gaze toward the treetops swaying gently above them. You gave our people eyes to see beyond what is visible. You gave us ears to hear what the world ignores. So today, awaken discernment in every spirit. He pointed to the warriors. Let them sense danger before it arrives. He pointed to the mothers. Let them feel warnings before harm comes near their children. He pointed to the elders. Let their dreams reveal truth. Let their intuition speak loudly. Let their wisdom guide us. He then placed his hand over his own heart. And let the intuition inside each of us grow sharper than fear. The wind grew colder, as if the forest leaned closer to listen. Creator, he said resolutely, there are those who walk with hidden hearts, who approach with false intentions, who smile with poison behind their teeth. He narrowed his eyes. We do not fear them, but we expose them. His tone became like steel. Let every hidden enemy be revealed. Let every dark plan collapse. Let every shadow step into the light. Let every disguised danger lose its power. He took a deep breath. And let our tribe walk protected, not by swords but by your presence. He extended both arms outward, embracing the entire tribe with his gesture. Creator, bind us together. His voice softened, but the strength remained. Let no argument divide us. Let no panic scatter us. Let no fear turn us against one another. He pressed his fist to his chest. Where there is doubt, bring certainty. Where there is tension, bring peace. Where there is weakness, bring unity. He looked around the circle. Together we are stronger than any enemy. Together, we are a wall no shadow can cross. Suddenly, the elder lifted his head toward the heavens, and the tone in his voice shifted, from prayer to prophecy. I declare that no harm will come to this tribe. His voice echoed. I declare that danger will be turned away. His fist clenched. I declare that the Creator himself will stand between us and every threat. The air grew thick, as if the atmosphere itself was listening. And for anyone who hears this story, he continued, his voice lowering, intensifying, directed beyond time. I declare over your life, no weapon formed against you will prosper. No fear will crush your spirit. No darkness will swallow your purpose. He pointed toward the horizon. You will rise, you will endure. You will walk through shadows without losing your light. Makwan took a slow breath. Then he spoke one final prayer, not for the tribe, but for the individual listening with a trembling heart. Creator, if someone far from here hears these words one day, let them feel your strength. Let them feel your nearness. Let them feel courage waking up inside them. He closed his eyes. Release them from every fear that has held them captive. Release them from every heaviness that has followed them. Release them from every whisper that says they are not enough. He opened his hands wide. And fill them with purpose, fill them with clarity, fill them with fire. The moment was still, holy, strong. The prayer settled like morning dew over every heart. The sun had risen completely now, painting the sky with shades of gold and crimson. The tribe stood silent around Makwan, not out of fear, but out of reverence. Every word the elder declared carried weight, like stones being placed one by one into the foundation of a fortress. But the prayer wasn't finished, not even close. Because the greatest battles are not the ones fought with weapons, they're the ones fought in the spirit. And Makwan knew the tribe needed more than protection. They needed deliverance. He drew a deep breath, lifted his hands again, and the prayer shifted, growing sharper, stronger, like a blade being pulled from the fire. This part of the prayer wasn't gentle. It wasn't soft. It was war. Creator, he declared, there are chains that cannot be seen with the eye, but they bind tighter than iron. His voice thundered across the circle. Chains of fear, chains of doubt, chains passed down through generations, chains that whisper lies into the mind, chains that make warriors tremble, and mothers worry and children hide. He clenched his fists. Today, we break them. He stepped forward. Every chain that has wrapped around this tribe, I command it to shatter. His voice rose. Every chain of inherited fear, break. Every chain of trauma, break. Every chain of heaviness, break. Every chain of confusion, break. Every chain of spiritual darkness, break. The ground beneath them seemed to hum, a vibration of agreement, a response from the earth itself. And for the one hearing this prayer right now, he continued, turning slightly as if speaking directly to you, I declare every invisible weight holding you down begins to fall. Every unseen pressure stealing your peace begins to crumble. Every spiritual burden tied to your name, your past, your family, breaks right now. Then Makwan turned toward the forest. Creator, he said, cleanse this land. His hands opened wide, palms facing the wind. Let every path be cleared of danger. Let every tree carry peace in its shadow. Let every river wash away what does not belong here. His voice deepened. And where the feet of enemies try to step, let the ground reject them. A gust of wind blew through the clearing, strong enough to make the flames flicker sideways. It was as if the forest itself obeyed the command. Creator, purify this land. Remove every hidden intention. Expose every dark plan. Let this ground become holy again. He touched the earth. And let this same purification reach those who hear this story. Let their home be cleansed. Their path be cleansed. Their atmosphere be cleansed. Makwan then placed both hands over his chest. Creator, he said softly. Courage fades if it is not renewed. Strength weakens if it is not fed. He lifted his head. Breathe courage into every heart here. He looked at the tribe and spiritually at you. Courage that does not collapse under pressure. Courage that does not run from shadows. Courage that does not shake when danger comes close. He closed his eyes. Let courage rise like fire in their bones. Let courage burn through every doubt. Let courage stand taller than fear. His voice thickened with spirit. And for the one who feels weak, for the one who feels tired, for the one who feels overwhelmed, I speak strength into you now. He spread his hands. You will rise again. You will not fall apart. You will not be swallowed by anxiety. You will not be defeated by what comes against you. Makwan turned to face the circle of people. Creator, he prayed, make us one. He pressed his palms together. Let no voice among us divide us. Let no fear scatter us. Let no conflict weaken us. He looked at the warriors. Let them fight as one. He looked at the mothers. Let them protect as one. He looked at the elders. Let them discern as one. His voice softened but carried enormous authority. A tribe divided is weak. A tribe united is unstoppable. He lifted both arms to the sky. And I declare this: every spirit of division, leave. Every spirit of confusion, leave. Every spirit of mistrust, leave. Every spirit that tries to bring chaos, be silenced. And then he whispered, Creator, seal us together. Suddenly Makwan's posture changed. His eyes sharpened. His voice lowered. This was the moment when prayer became prophecy. A great darkness came near, he said, but it will not cross this boundary. The tribe leaned in, breathless. Danger formed plans in secret, but the Creator has already destroyed them. His voice grew stronger. Those who intended harm will lose their path. Their steps will weaken. Their courage will fail. Their strategies will fall apart. He pointed to the horizon. For every threat that rises, a greater protection will rise with it. For every shadow that moves, a greater light will follow. He looked at the people, but his words were meant for you. And whoever hears this story, whoever listens with an open spirit, whoever receives these words, they too will walk in this protection. He took a small breath. You will not fall. You will not be overtaken. You will not lose what the Creator has blessed. You will walk covered, guided, and strengthened. Makwan lifted his hands for the final time that morning. Creator, seal this prayer. He moved his hands slowly from the sky to the earth. Seal protection over this tribe. Seal strength in their hearts. Seal courage in their bones. He touched his forehead. Seal wisdom in their thoughts. He touched his chest. Seal peace in their spirit. He touched the ground. Seal victory over this land. And then he spoke the last words. What rises against us will fall before us. Silence followed, but it wasn't empty. It was full, charged, heavy with presence. The prayer was complete. The air around the tribe grew still, not silent but charged, like the moments before a storm breaks open. Makwan stood in the center of the sacred ground, and even though the prayer had already shaken the atmosphere, he wasn't done. Because danger still lingered beyond the trees, fear still whispered in the shadows, and the hearts of the people still needed something deeper, deliverance that reaches the roots. He exhaled slowly, as if drawing breath from somewhere beyond himself, and the prayer shifted once again. This wasn't protection anymore. This wasn't courage. This wasn't unity. This was warfare. Creator, he said, there are forces that walk unseen, forces that wait for weakness, forces that feed on fear. His voice grew louder, but steady. We do not bow to them. We do not fear them. We do not give them territory in our minds, our homes, our land, or our spirit. He raised one hand toward the forest. Every shadow that moves with intention to harm, I push you back. He raised the other hand. Every spirit that whispers confusion, I silence you. Then both hands extended like a gate being slammed shut. Every dark presence hiding beyond these trees, you cannot enter. You will not cross this boundary. You will not attach to this tribe. The fire beside him roared violently, as if echoing the command. And whoever hears these words, no matter where they stand, No matter what surrounds them, I speak the same covering over their life. His voice lowered into a tone dripping with authority. Darkness loses its grip on you. Fear loses its voice. Shadows lose their power. Then Makwan stepped forward, eyes locked on the ground beneath his feet, as if seeing something no one else could. Creator, some battles are ancient. Some fears didn't start today. Some heaviness was inherited. He pressed his palm to the earth. So today, we break what began before us. His hand tightened. We break the fear passed down through generations. We break the trauma buried in memory. We break the weight carried by our ancestors. We break every cycle of loss, every cycle of pain, every cycle of silence. He lifted his head, and every chain that touched our bloodline ends here. The tribe trembled. The atmosphere trembled. The very earth seemed to respond. And for the one who hears this prayer far from here, I declare the same release over your family. Whatever tried to continue through generations, its time is over. Makwan's voice grew deeper, resonant, almost ancient. Creator, he said, send fire. He wasn't calling for destruction. He was calling for purification. Let fire burn through every lie. Let fire burn through every hidden fear. Let fire burn through the residue of every past wound. He touched his chest. Let fire cleanse the heart. He touched his forehead. Let fire cleanse the mind. He pointed toward the tribe. Let fire cleanse this people. And then with force, let fire surround those who listen to this prayer, wherever they are, and burn away everything that does not belong to them. The flames crackled louder, almost in response. Fire brings truth. Fire brings clarity. Fire brings strength. Makwan stepped forward again and his tone softened, but the power remained. Creator, there are people who look brave on the outside but feel empty on the inside. His eyes lowered. There are spirits here today who smile, but their hearts feel tired. There are warriors who stand tall, but their souls feel heavy. There are children who laugh, but fear hides behind their eyes. He rested a hand over his chest. For them, awaken what has been asleep. His voice rose again. Awaken identity. Awaken purpose. Awaken strength. Awaken resilience. Awaken clarity. He stepped into the middle of the circle and awakened the warrior inside every person who hears this prayer. The warrior who refuses to break even when storms hit hardest. The elder turned his face toward the forest, toward the direction danger had come from. Creator, he said, lead us before fear misleads us. He closed his eyes. Give us wisdom sharper than instinct. Give us intuition louder than fear. Give us clarity deeper than confusion. Then he prayed a powerful line, one that felt almost like a command. Let no step we take be wasted. Let no decision misguide us. Let no warning go unnoticed. He tapped his temple. For the tribe, and for the one hearing my voice, I ask for a mind illuminated with truth, direction, and discernment. Suddenly, the tension in the air melted, like morning frost under the rising sun. Makwan brought his hands down slowly. Creator, give us peace that cannot be shaken. He breathed in deeply. Peace that does not depend on circumstances. Peace that stands firm in danger. Peace that speaks louder than fear. Peace that anchors the heart. He looked at the tribe, his expression soft but unwavering. And give that same peace to the one who hears this prayer. Let it settle over them. Let it rest on their home. Let it guard their mind. He extended his hand. Peace that protects. Peace that strengthens. Peace that stays. The elder took one last breath and spoke with full authority. What tries to rise against us will fall before us. What tries to deceive us will be exposed. What tries to intimidate us will be silenced. And what was meant to destroy us will become the ground we rise from. His voice echoed like thunder. We are protected. We are united. We are unshakable. Then he whispered, and so are you. The prayer settled over the tribe like a shield forged in the spirit. 1,200 palavras. Mensagem de motivação, plus fe plus CTA final. When the long prayer finally settled into the air, like smoke drifting upward toward the mountains, something changed in the tribe. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't a miracle that split the sky in half. It was quieter, deeper, more personal. It was peace, that indescribable feeling that wraps around your chest and whispers, "You're safe, you're covered, you're not alone." And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what you need right now too. Because life doesn't always give you warnings. Danger doesn't always announce itself. Fear doesn't always show up wearing a mask you can recognize. Sometimes the threat isn't outside. It's inside. The overthinking, the anxiety, the sleepless nights, the fear of the unknown, the weight you're carrying that nobody sees. So listen closely, because the message the elder gave his tribe is the same message you didn't know you needed today. After the final prayer, the tribe stood still. No one moved, no one spoke. And then Makwan looked at them, really looked, with eyes that felt like they could see straight into the soul. He said, "You think you are small because fear visited you, but fear visits only those who carry something powerful." Let that sink in. The elder wasn't speaking poetry, he was speaking truth. Fear doesn't hunt the weak. Fear hunts the strong. Fear hunts the chosen. Fear hunts the ones with destiny. If you feel attacked, if you feel pressured, if you feel stretched, if you feel like something is trying to break you, it's because there is something in you worth fighting for. The elder continued, "You fear the future because you've forgotten who walks with you. You fear the enemy because you've forgotten the protection around you. You fear the night because you've forgotten the fire inside you. And maybe that's the same mistake you've been making. You've let your fear speak louder than your purpose. But hear me now. Purpose always wins when you allow it to rise." Makwan lifted his staff and pointed to the mountains. These mountains have seen storms you cannot imagine. Winds that could tear trees from the ground. Winters that froze rivers solid. And yet they still stand. He paused. So do you. You're still here. You've survived things that would have destroyed other people. You've been through nights that tried to break your mind. You've carried weights no one else knows about. You've walked through seasons where you didn't even know how you kept going. But you did. That's not weakness. That's inheritance. Your ancestors, whoever they were, didn't quit. That's why you're alive. That's why you have breath. That's why you have purpose. There is strength in your bloodline you haven't even touched yet. The elder said, "You are not here because you were lucky. You are here because someone before you refused to fall. And now, you continue the story." Makwan walked into the center of the circle and spoke with unmistakable authority. "When fear rises early, rise earlier. When danger moves quietly, move wisely. When darkness watches, let your spirit burn." He wasn't telling the tribe to be paranoid. He was telling them to be prepared. Not physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. You can't stop storms from coming, but you can decide if you face them standing or hiding. And you, yes, you, are being called to stand. Not because you feel strong, not because you have everything figured out, but because there's something ahead of you that requires the version of yourself you are becoming. Then Makwan lifted both hands to the sky, eyes burning with clarity. "Listen to me," he said. "Danger may approach, but it will not enter. Fear may whisper, but it will not take root. Shadows may gather, but they will not overcome the light inside you. Let that sit on your spirit." He didn't say the tribe wouldn't see challenges. He said the challenges would not win. And that is the same truth for you. Whatever you're facing, whatever feels overwhelming, whatever keeps trying to break your focus or your peace, whatever keeps circling around your life, it will not win. Because you carry protection you can't see, strength you haven't fully discovered, and purpose that was written long before fear ever tried to touch you. Finally, Makwan lowered his voice, speaking softly but with absolute certainty. "When you walk from this place, walk with your head lifted. Walk knowing the Creator goes before you. Walk knowing your ancestors walk beside you. Walk knowing no shadow dares to touch those protected by purpose. And that message? It belongs to you too. You don't walk alone. You never did. And you never will. Something greater goes before you. Something ancient walks beside you. Something powerful protects you. Walk with peace. Walk with certainty. Walk with faith. Your life is guarded. Your path is guided. Your spirit is stronger than anything that rises against you. Listen, if this message reached you today, it's because it was meant for you. So do this now. Subscribe to the channel. You're not joining a page, you're joining a tribe. Like this video because it helps this message find someone who desperately needs strength today. Share it with one person who's fighting a silent battle. And before you leave, watch the next video I'm recommending. If this one touched your spirit, the next one will lift you even higher. Stay grounded, stay protected, stay courageous, and don't you ever break.